Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the Honda Hornet Café racer build. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. And today, what's on this? Bits on the lens. I've been mostly marking things off, rounding corners off, just doing little bits and pieces, getting ready to do the fiberglassing of the seat. I haven't done any fiberglassing before, but I've watched loads of videos on YouTube, and I'll go through it step by step. I've probably done something wrong, but if it works, it works. I didn't get a heater for Christmas, as someone mentioned, but I found one in the loft, so that's keeping the garage a bit warmer for the fiberglassing. For Christmas I did get one of these off my mum and dad, so thanks very much for that, and that'll come in handy. So I've bought a fiberglassing kit. It's a 1 litre kit, because I'm not doing that much. You get the resin, the hardener, catalyst, you get some mixing pots, disposable brushes, mixy things, roller to take out the air, some disposable gloves, a syringe, and the fiberglass matting. Everybody seems to say different things about the matting. It's a medium weight, I think it's 350 grams, which is like a medium weight matting. Everybody seems to say different things. Some people say tear it, some people put it on big sheets, and some people cut it into strips. Now I'm going to go for cutting it into strips, and we'll see how that works. You mix your catalyst at 1%. If it's a bit colder like it is here, I might go up to 2%, 3%, 4%, but the more catalyst you put in, the less working time you've got. Most people are saying do about 1-ish. So for example, if you mix 500 millilitres of resin, you want 5 millilitres of catalyst. A litre of resin, 10 millilitres of catalyst. Or if you went up to 2%, 500 mils of resin and 10 millilitres of catalyst, obviously. So that is where the syringe comes in to get a nice accurate measurement. I think pretty much everything, once you've used it, is shot, so don't mix it in. Although you can supposedly get it back out of these tubs once it's hardened up. So I will go through the prep and we'll see how it goes. I fastened the tank down in its final position using a couple of bits of rubber. And what I'm going to do, I've made a little cardboard cutout which I'm going to tape in place, and that I'll cover that so that is where the seat is going to cover. But first I have to wrap up all the bike in cling film to stop any resin getting stuck all over it. So that is the first step, is wrapping everything down. I've covered my little front mount in the wrap, and I've waxed that with car wax. I've cut off the side. I'm going to cut that one off in a minute. You might notice I've put an extra bolt in there which bolts through. I'm hoping that the fiberglass just like encapsulates that. I've cut these sides off because they're just not very good, and then I'll reform all of this. This is so that the fiberglass doesn't stick to my mounting plate, and I can take that off whenever I want. That's the plan. So I'll cut this other side off and then we'll start covering the tank. Right, that's it. Should remember to put your gloves on first. I did get them on before my hands got too sticky, so that's not too bad. Your pots and brushes, apparently you just leave everything in the pot, all the things that you don't need, and you should be able to flex the pot and get them back out. It might not work with these thin disposable type pots. I got 2 sheets in my kit, 2 sheets of matting, 1 litre of resin, and then the catalyst. I've used 1 sheet and I've used 400 mils of resin, so, and there seemed to be more than enough. I think the big fault is, it seems to be, that people don't put enough resin on. Use the little roller to get any air bubbles out, but it is only a seat base, you're not going to see it. It's a good practice run for doing some fiberglassing. I'll leave that to dry now. It looks like it's pretty well soaked in resin. As I say, that seems to be the fault. And then if it needs any more, I've got another sheet, and then I'll just be building up on the top, so I won't need to do that on the bike. So hopefully that is okay. I'll leave my heater on and I'll go and have a cup of tea. Right, it's been about an hour. It is freezing outside, the heater's running, but it is really cold. I don't know if you can hear the rain. It is really cold. It's 28th of December, but that is not sticky anymore. So I've put loads of resin on, a little bit on the sides, but it's been running down, I think. So hopefully that's going to go off. I'll probably end up leaving it overnight just to be sure. I've also got the heat gun, which I can warm it up, make sure it's all not tacky, and then cleaned everything up with alcohol wipes, all the stuff I'm going to keep. And when the seat's off, I should be able to build this up nicely, sand it, smooth it off, get it all nice and nicely shaped, then cut it all, and that pretty much should be the seat done. Things that I used are, this is just a packing wrap from Amazon. I think it's a £5 for that great big roll. Masking tape, fiberglass kit, came off eBay. I think it was £20 for a 1 litre kit. Kit comes measured in how much resin you get all the other bits and bobs, and I have got half of that left. The biggest advice that people seem to say on YouTube is make sure you put plenty of resin on. Now, as this is a measured kit, I'm assuming half the resin with half the fiberglass. Your fiberglass comes in different weights. This was 300 or 350 weight, so it's quite thick. I know you can put a tissue on to finish things off a bit nicer. Obviously this is the bottom of the seat and it's all going to get covered, so it's more important that I just get it smooth. Use wax on your wrap or anything that you put that you don't want it to stick to. You can get a proper release agent. I just use car wax. Hopefully I'll be able to get all the wrapping out and all the bits won't be stuck too tightly. Right, it's been good 2.5 hours, and as it's December the 28th and I need to get this video out tomorrow, I've been a bit impatient and I'm going to try and pulling off the seat now. I've had the heater running non-stop and it's actually warmer in here than it is in the house, but don't tell Rachel. So this is all rock hard now. Just seems to have lifted a little bit here. I don't know why, but I might cut that away. It's all right at the edges. Might cut that away, and when I start finishing this I'll build it back up. So we'll see what happens, see if we can get it off. I haven't got the under train, so I just need to pull the little latch. Right. Okay. Well, it hasn't fallen to pieces. It was a bit tight getting it off, but there's cling film covering everything. I haven't got any fiberglass over the tank, and it appears I haven't got any fiberglass over the bike either, so the cling film seems to have done its job. So I will unwrap this. There we go. I'll unbolt this. It's a little bit sticky. Must have got a little bit of a hole in it, but not bad. Not bad. And there you go. That's come straight off. There's none left inside, no packing wrap left inside. Still a little bit wet inside. Obviously I haven't waited. Been a bit of a rush, but that looks okay. I'll fill all this and make it nice and neat. But it looks pretty good. Still a little bit tacky on the inside. Being a bit impatient. And then I'll just have to trim all that up in the morning. Might get a little bit more of a video on, but yeah, that basically looks okay. Unfortunately that bolt hasn't stayed tight, so what I'll have to do is drill through, put a Allen key in, and then I'll Loctite, take away some of that webbing, and I'll Loctite a nut on the back just to make sure that's secure. But that's pretty good. So there, it just has come away from there, just hasn't taken to it. I probably didn't sand far enough back, but I'll cut a bit of that away till I get to the point where it's stuck, and then re-sand it, and I'll go back over it to make sure it's properly stuck on. Okay, so that bottom bit worked quite well. What? Did you doze off? Did you miss it? No, some idiot forgot to put the camera on while he was doing it. I don't know where he's gone. But what I did, I fiberglassed up on the bottom of here, but first I drilled with a flat bottomed drill holes in here. I probably should have drilled holes in this first to help get it a better key, and then I fiberglassed over that and sort of encapsulated it all in. I did what I said about the nut. Managed to lever that forward a little bit where it was a bit loose. Got loads of resin in. It's a little bit lumpy, but I'm going to sand it back now. So done that, and that's really secure. That's not going anywhere. I've marked the sides, which is a lot less than I need. So what I'll do is I'll trim that off. We'll try it on. I'll trim round the front edge, and that'll have a basic outline, and then I'll start shaping up the seat, get some of these bumps off, just get it a bit nicer. Right, so that's cut off, and as you can see, it's a lot thicker than it probably needs to be. I haven't done fiberglassing before, and I didn't realise it was going to go on that thick. It's a couple of bits. The edge of this needs trimming back properly, and I can smooth this down. I'll get it set up outside with a mask on and a bit better ventilation if it ever stops raining. I probably could have used less fiberglass, realising that, but as long as the seat goes on. I've smoothed that down, put the mounting plate on the inside, so hopefully that should go on, and that is pretty good fit. There's a little bit of a gap around here, but I am going to sort of beef that up a little bit once I get it trimmed back. There will be obviously a seat covering going over that, so it doesn't have to be too tight. A lot of that is going to get a cut away, so I can trim that off for now. Know that I'm safe trimming that bit off and a bit of the other side, and I can smooth all this in, cut that away gradually till I get the right amount. So minimal, get as much of that off as I can. So that works quite well. Obviously that needs cutting right down. We'll get that to fit. If I need to put a little bit more in there to get a closer fit, I can do that. But yeah, that is basically it, done. As I said, I'm trying to get this video out for Wednesday, so I'll leave it there and I'll continue with the shaping of the seat in the next video. I might do an extra little one on Saturday just to do the finish of the seat. One thing I did forget to mention, the stuff in the pot is all stuck, but like they said, it does seem to come out, so you could probably use these again. So if you used your measuring jug out the kitchen, you could get all this out before your wife found out and went mad. But yeah, that's all coming out of there. I suppose these disposable ones would only last a few times. Right, so if you're enjoying the build up to now, please like, subscribe and press the notification button, and I will see you.